Welcome back. Today we're working on the oil pan. Got me a Holley 302-3. 302 series is supposed to add better clearance for the Chevelles, the tie rods in the front. And most people run the -2 or -3. I went for the -3 because I may turbo this thing later, and it's got the little drain on the side. That's why I did that. Holley gave me a little box here with all the little doodads and whatnots in there, and I brought you in about halfway through because I figured I might as well show this. I took off the oil pan. That's easy. Took off the pickup and thought I was just going to jam the new pickup in there. I didn't realize you got to cut the windage tray. So that's a thing. Holley gives you some nice little instructions, and if you're good at the arts and crafts class, you can just cut the sides off. So that's what I did. I put some Sharpie marks on the bottom of this windage tray, and I'm going to get to cutting. And I'll bring you in when that's done, and we can see how everything fits and all the pretty new aluminums. Hold on. Got the windage tray notched out. Got that installed. Got my clearance around here, around the pickup tube, which is I think what they're trying to go for, and probably the pan coming into contact. Ding, ding. Pan coming in contact in here. Next step is to make sure when you install your pickup tube that you have your words. You have your O-ring on there. I use Vaseline to install when I do my oil components, just to lubricate it, and it stays there. It's got a nice little stickiness to it, and it'll dissolve. So I put some Vaseline on there, slid that nice and smooth in there, and it kind of popped in. So pickup tube's on, windage tray's on. I'm going to get these little guys installed in here. Thankfully, Holley gives you all the things you need, except for oil pump gasket, or I'm sorry, an oil pan gasket, which I thought was going to be super special since, this was a Holley pan and things. But apparently, it uses a GM pan gasket, not in the box. Beware that. You got to run and get one, or have one beforehand. I just assumed it was going to be in there. And the whole assuming thing means you got to go to the parts store again. Why aren't you going in there? That's perfect. Just make sure you drop that right down in there. I'll be right back. All right, now we're back from our commercial break. Hey, don't drop that bolt in there. So they give you one extra bolt. Here to have a stock pickup. It needs the little, well, it doesn't need it, but you can add the little half moony thing over there to make it do better clampy things. This one comes with both sides of the pickup having a hole in it and one solid piece going across. So that's a nice upgrade. Then you can take your factory bolt input on there and add this other one on the side there. So you get twice the happiness when you tighten it down. Everybody knows that makes you happy. And then find my torque wrench. There it is. Yeah, beep. And that's on there. Now we can take our pan, just mock it up. Mock it up. That's loud. And trip over everything. As I'm looking at mine, it's not going forward on the pan. It's hitting something. Feels like making love. No, not really. But looks like I'm hitting on this here ridge back here on the back nuts. That's interesting. Line it up straight, going down. Sits up a little bit. Cool. What they mean when they say some assembly required. Well, we're just going to do the right thing and mock where these go and give a little bit of zzz, a grinder. Mark these. Go right there. I made myself little marks on the back. I'm gonna go take some material. Oh, what if I don't die? Right back. All right, I'm back. So I got excited and wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing. That's the back of the windage tray, which is not what I should have cut off. I was supposed to cut off the front. So that's why nothing's lining up right. And there's some specific contours in the back of the windage tray as it lines up to the pan. And holes, there's all kinds of stuff. So let me show you how it's messed up, and then I'll show you how I'm going to fix it. Yeah, there you go. I could have just edited this out, but I figured this may help somebody else in the future if they do what I did and just start digging in there and don't be reading stuff because you're excited about shiny stuff. So right off the bat, these two bolt holes in the back don't line up. So I snipped them with snips so it kind of slides over, and my nut's still going to capture that on here. And you notice this was straight out flush, and this was straight out flush. And look at this little guy. It's got a contour here and a contour here, and then this is cut out, and this, this really would have been on that side for the oil dipstick. So, I cut that out so I can still get that in because that had been fun to get the pan on and figure out I can't get the dipstick in the tube. And then the motor comes out and, oh boy, that'd have been fun. So I think that's going to work. I haven't tried the pan yet. I just did the trimming. And let's see what happens. So my holes are here. And now I can go forward another 1/2 inch. So that was the pan hitting on the, what would that be? Back of the pan hitting on the windage tray. Not necessarily those windage tray bolts hitting on anything. So now you can see that the pan lines up. Now I have no gasket in there, so that obviously that's going to raise that up a little bit. But it just, now it does pan things. So grab these instructions here. When you're reading these instructions, don't do what I did and just be like, yep, it's a square. I'm going to cut off around this bolt hole, and nope, there's got little ridges right there. Little ridges right there. And then the dipstick side. Duh. That tells you which side it is. So don't just, start marking and cutting because you're excited, or you'll get what I got. So I figured I'd share that I was an idiot, because that's sometimes, well, that happens a lot. I get excited when I'm out here in the garage. So, that's that. Anyway, moving forward, we can take this little guy, put some lube on it. Nope. Belay that. And put this guy in here. It blocks some of these windage tray nuts. So let's get those on there first. I'll have to sit there for 8 hours with a 13 milliliter wrench. Yeah, I said milliliter. That's specifically what I'm talking about. Right off the back. Mind-boggling. Torqued. That's good calibration on the torque wrench. All right, now we can put this little guy in there. Give a little bit of a wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Should hear it pop. There it is. And you feel it slide in there, not get caught. So hopefully that's good. Oil PSI will tell us when we get it in there. And if you have to take the motor back out again. If you're like I am and you work off of a trash can, make sure you lose all of your stuff on the lid of it. When it's time to put stuff back, you can't find it. It's great. It's funny because I have 2 toolboxes with workbenches on top, but all they end up doing is storing more tools and parts, and never really end up using them as a workbench. Sad. One day. Keep telling myself it's because there's so many parts to this car because it's apart right now. All right, 3/16 Allen in there. Tighten that little jobber down. Yeah. Sure, this thing can still start before we tighten too much. Yep. Yeah, switch over to the foot-pounds torque wrench over here. You don't want the, I'm sorry, switch over to the inch-pounds. Foot-pounds is too much. It's the yellow one. Yep, that's good. All right. Yeah. That sounds good. All right, so now those are on. Should be able to these little guys on. Give them the ugga-duggas. Ah. You hear when it changes tone. That means it's torqued. Yep, still capturing these little guys back here. There we go. It's probably 100% not how Holley wants me to do it or anybody else, but I messed up. So I guess when I get the baffle that goes in that pan, the next $400 I spend, I can grab one of these 2 while I'm in there and swap it out. Let me get that gasket out. So next it wants me to add some Loctite on these bolts. This is the blue variety. Tastes pretty good. Remember that, I don't know, I was going to say something witty. I'm about out of that for today. This is where that windage tray doodabber with trap doors and all the things on it goes for if you're road racing, but I use a supplied Holley pan right now because trying to get running. I ain't got the extra 400 right now. That 400 is going to get me transmission. I need one. Yep. It's torqued. I said torqued, not torqued. Younger kids out there start shaking your butt. All right. These on there. Torque to spec ish. It's like 12 foot-pounds or something, 18 if I remember right. Go ahead and come on over here. Got my gasket in there. Apparently I was told to buy this $10 tube of RTV because, they want me to add just a little bit of, a 5mm bead, 20 millimeters long. I'm just going to put some RTV in here. It leaks here. You don't, I guess. We're going to put way too much. I don't know if you've ever met him. Way too much. And there you go. Just going to put some of that on there and right in place. On that side. That's how you know you're never going to get a leak until you do. Helpful. I've been not cutting these tops and just putting them right back on, and it's been doing all right for me. Not drying out. But see how that holds up. Bing bong bing. find the hole. Did it a couple times. I got kids. Okay. Make sure that that's all right there in place. And then you got, if you look in your Holley box, you'll find that you got to use your old bolts. So I'm going to go ahead and zip those back in there. I said, we're going to zip those back. Apparently my oil pan doesn't know the program here. Or that whole not being on medication thing's kicking in. Ooh. All right. Get my gasket alignment tool out. Where'd that go? Gasket alignment tool. And by that I just mean Allen wrench. Yeah. One key step to doing this, you guys, you got to make sure your hands are dirty. So you get fingerprints all over the shiny new aluminum, because you don't want it to look like, you know, that you're going to put this on a trailer and take it somewhere. You got to drive it. So get some grease on there. Like you just broke it in the parking lot and you put it together. Anybody watching my videos for a while knows that happens a lot. Break it in the parking lot. Launching tires off the rim. Off the axle. Off the things. Doing stuff. Alright, well this is pretty boring. I'm sure you guys have already tapped ahead and done the little click, 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 click. 10 seconds. Get me past this part. So, you know, bolts. Oh, I can't see that when it's blind. Oh, you're so crazy. Then they specifically call out the need for these two super extra long bolts. Extra long, extra long, extra long bolts. They're extra long. Because, you know, they're extra long. Now, as far as alignment goes, you guys know that these got some play in it. The rear cover's got play in it, and the timing cover's got play in it. The timing cover was already installed, so I don't really have to mess with that. Its height is already set. Where'd you go in your hole? Get in your hole. So these, Lord. So these I'm just going to line up. I'll use my square, probably the easiest way. Just want to make sure it's flush with the back. And lots of noise. My timing covers, or rear cover, has not been off this engine. So I know that's probably square. And since we work in the certainty of maybes here, it's going to be just fine. Sure I get my... Oh no! Where did my 10 millimeter go? I've seen that before. Alright. Stuff going everywhere. A little doodad on there, and not torquing it yet. Just getting it close, guys. See? Just getting it close. Make sure that one's close. Don't put a lot of torque on these, you'll snap these little guys. There you go, just tighten it down. And get you in the ballpark. Cinch them down. I will probably torque these a little bit. Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. 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 All right. And they give you some GM parts in here. I like it. You know they're gonna fit. There's a little gasket for your little side jobber. Get that on there. With the two other bolts they give you, it's pretty self-sufficient. You just kind of go on like that and bolt it on. All right. Next, we're going to put these little turbo drain plugs back in. I'm not there yet. And we'll put the oil filter adapter in. I don't know what this comes off of, application or whatnot. I'm assuming it's a factory piece. The instructions call for a PF48 or equivalent. We had 47s and 49s in my parts house, so no 48 for me. I did get the Wix alternative though, which is a 570/60. I'm sure there's a better, a bigger filter. Make sure you use some used oil off the ground to lubricate the seal. Let it go to waste. We're gonna spin the little guy on there. Just a little bit. Don't over tighten that. You don't want a He-Man getting it off when it heat cycles a few times. You know, that's pretty much it. Probably can give your drain plug a little tighten if you want. And yeah, let's go get this thing on the car and see how it fits. Well, the engine's in. I have it set to about a -1 degree or a 1 degree lean back. Just kind of sitting there. You guys look under here. The 68 Chevelle. It's got plenty of room around there. About a finger and a half, 2 fingers. These are just Amazon, eBay plates. 307 perches and the short fat mounts, I believe. Whatever came on the car when it had the 350 in it. And just put them plates on there and drop this in here. So, I mean, it's got room in the front. I don't have my tie rods in yet, but I mean, if it's clearing this far off the pan, it's going to fit just fine. Be more worried about it hitting the lip, but it's all factory, so it shouldn't. So, 02-3 pan sits pretty good. Oh, I'm in the second hole back from forward 2 set of holes. There's 2 holes here and 2 holes here. So you can put your motor way forward or way back. So this is where mine's at right now, and I got about, I don't know, 5 fingers off the firewall. That seems to be decent. All in all, I'd say a good pan. I guess we'll do a follow-up video when I get my steering together, and I can show you how that works in there. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for seeing what not to do. Follow directions. You know, got to do that. See you next time.